Well, welcome to A Word with the Girls. I'm Emily, and I am joined with my sisters Molly and Abby. Make sure you go follow us on Instagram at A Word with the Girls. And if you have not yet subscribed to our podcast on Spotify, go and click that follow button so you don't miss an episode. We'd love to hear from you. If you have questions or even a word that you would like for us to discuss, make sure to comment on Spotify, Instagram, or YouTube, and your word may be featured in future episodes. Thank you to those of you who've already submitted some words. We appreciate it, and they are in our bank now. Before we dive into our word for the day, let's address what's happening on screen currently, which is the theme of Halloween. And so, I've got a couple of different options of costume. And so, this is my always like go-to cowgirl themed. But Abby, you explain who you are. Molly, you explain who you are, and I will come back on screen with a new costume.
Oh my gosh. I am a wolf because I don't have anything else to wear and my kids' costumes wouldn't fit me. So the only thing that would fit me are these little wolf ears. And so here I am.
Or I could be Shrek.
Oh my gosh. That's awesome.
How awesome is this? So
I like that.
Oh my gosh, that's funny. Or what's Shrek's lover's name?
Fiona.
Fiona.
So I also have a green velvet dress. So Kevin and I were going to go as Shrek and Fiona, and I was going to wear the green velvet dress as like the princess, and then he was going to be.
That's hilarious.
Maybe we'll wear it on Halloween, but
That's awesome.
Okay, Molly, what are you?
Someone who threw together some sort of costume at the last minute. I don't know. We've been going back and forth. I could be like a lawyer or a news anchor, but basically I'm just wearing like a blazer and some fake glasses and a scarf.
You look really smart.
yeah, I guess for those of you who are listening audio only, I am now in a Shrek knitted hat with little ogre ears. I was wearing a cowgirl hat, so options. Well, obviously, the theme of today, our word of today is Halloween, just in honor of, the holiday season. And so I figured we'd do kind of a quick little, session on Halloween. But first, I think we need to catch up because you two are lucky and you live together or live in the same town. So you get to do things together, which includes going to the Eras Tour movie, which I'm super jealous. So I need to hear an update. How was it? Is it worth me going? I am going to convince Kevin to go, but I think I'm going to have to like watch Lord of the Rings, all 3 movies in order to get him to come with me, if it's worth it.
I think it's totally worth it. I want to go see it again.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
It's so impressive.
Yes.
Like, I mean, on the one hand, it's just impressive because she is so talented and the eras that she has, produced or whatever, like it's such a wide variety of talent. And like the show itself is like super creative.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely long, like it's about 3 hours. So
It goes by so fast.
it does. There was a brief moment where I was like, okay, I could do without these songs maybe, like, cause that there's still some to come. But no, I definitely like cried several times.
Mm-hmm.
We like danced in our seats
And we sang, and I looked over a little bit. It didn't look like anyone else was really doing that.
there were a couple girls in the back who were
okay.
dancing who I
Okay.
saw.
That's fine.
The people behind us might have been singing a little bit.
Okay.
But the thing is like, well, there were only like 10 people in the theater when we were there
Mm-hmm.
because it was like on a Thursday. But yeah, it's fun because you can sing and not be like obnoxious.
Yeah. And it's so loud that
Mhm.
no one can really hear you. I definitely enjoyed it. It was good entertainment. I wouldn't consider myself like a major Swiftie by any means. But like when her song comes on while I'm running through, like on Pandora station I'm listening to, I love it. There's definitely some songs in there that like anchored my high school years. I was a fan of Taylor when she was like first starting out. Like I remember that Taylor really well. And then as time went on, I kind of faded. And then some of the ones Her newer ones I know, but I definitely enjoyed it. I think some of it I didn't expect. I don't know. I think I love that she's like super feminine and like power to the woman. All of that is so awesome. But I had a friend ask me, she's like, hey, should I take my 12-year-old boy and he has like a girlfriend? And I was like, I would not. Only, and I mean, I'm a little more on the conservative edge of like, there's a lot of skin. There's some sets where they're like doing like a pretend lap dance with a chair.
I mean, it's just more seductive, I guess.
Yes.
But she has some language too. Isn't there some bad language?
Some language. So I just think probably not the right audience, in my opinion. And that's totally my opinion. And like I said, I err on the side of a little more conservative in that realm. But overall, I mean, we were driving home. It was like, man, I want to harness some of Taylor Swift in myself. Just like, yeah, she's confident. She just like struts around that stage and loves the audience. And I don't know. I'm like, I got to harness some of that somehow in my own life,
Yeah. She's just like so beautiful and goofy and real. I mean, it's weird to say like modest and humble when it's like this gigantic, super expensive show with like all of the latest stuff. But like, there's just something about her that you're like, I think she's a good person.
Yeah, she seems relatable, even though she's like worth billions and is like the most famous musician in the world.
Yeah. And it's so funny, like, because the whole time when I was watching it, I was like, her outfits are so tasteful. I mean, she's kind of showing skin, but not really.
Well, I think her outfits alone were totally okay. Just some of
the dancing.
Some of the dancing and like Reputation was the most provocative in my opinion.
Yeah.
The snake and all of like the darkness of that album and just the darkness of that vibe I didn't love. And then the seductive dancing a little bit. I was just like, yep. Yeah. Okay. But that kind of comes with the territory, and I'm just not used to that kind of thing, I guess.
Yeah. So good.
But it was
okay.
It was
definitely go see it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I feel like Kevin would appreciate like the musical component, the creative component of all of it.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Well, it's happening. I will report back on how that goes and what I will owe in terms of what do I have to watch. Most likely Lord of the Rings, because that was a coupon I gave him a long time ago that I've yet to fulfill because I just can't make it through Lord of the Rings. But anyways, well, fine. Well, I'm glad you all got to do that. Because it's funny, I go into the schools to sub and I'm not wearing them right now, but I have like tons of beaded bracelets because I've been hanging out with like, kids and everyone's like, oh, did you go to the Eras tour? And I'm like, no, I'm just... I just have sticking.
I'm just joining in on the fad.
I just like friendship bracelets. They're so cute.
Yeah, they are. Well, because it is Halloween, I figured we'd kind of, talk a little bit about what it was like growing up and Halloween and our traditions as a family, and then just ask a couple of fun questions as we dive into this word for today. So, who wants to explain or share what it was like growing up in the Evans household when Halloween came around?
I wonder if we have different perspectives of it.
It's possible.
I think one, in easy terms, we didn't celebrate Halloween. It like wasn't, this is my perspective.
Not in the traditional way that everyone else does.
Yeah. Like I don't remember ever going trick-or-treating. We handed out candy some years we didn't. I remember one year we watched the World Series and the Diamondbacks won, and that was really cool.
Oh,
I don't remember that.
I didn't remember that either.
Aren't they in the World
Yeah, they
Series
are right now.
again.
Oh,
wow.
That's wild.
Yeah. But yeah, I just remember like always having to explain myself as a kid. They're like, what are you dressing up as? I'm like, well, I don't really dress up because we don't celebrate Halloween. And I never really felt offended or sad because of it. It was just like, oh, it's just what we do. It's fine.
I don't know. I think in my mind, I felt somewhat special because mom and dad were like, you know, we would get pulled out of class if they were doing some sort of Halloween themed thing or something. And I always was like, oh, I must be special because I'm not supposed to do this because for whatever reason, I don't know, probably because it was like evil or scary and it just wasn't something that we partook in. But I always remember us turning off all the lights in the house so nobody would come to our house, and we would like hide away in the back of the house and do crafts or something else while people were trick-or-treating. That's what I remember.
I remember that too.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, I think there were years when we did dress up and like go to a party at church.
I think we were very young.
But no, we didn't. The first time I ever went trick-or-treating was when I was in high school with the cross-country team.
Oh,
that was the first time I'd ever gone trick-or-treating. And I just remember how cold it was.
Oh yeah. It was totally
was always
like
so miserable in Flagstaff on Halloween. Just so cold, which you just had to like keep that in mind when you were trying to create some sort of costume, you know? But no, I remember like we would go to like the church would have a party and we would go to that party and there would be like snacks and candy
bobbing for apples,
stuff like that. But yeah, no, we just didn't put a whole lot of effort into Halloween. And yeah, I'm not a fan. I don't like Halloween.
I don't really either, truly.
So what do you do with your kids now? Like, are you gonna continue that of like not celebrating, or what does that look like for your family?
No, we actually let them dress up. No harm. I feel like no harm is done in dressing up. And we have let them go trick-or-treating. We have a pretty tight group of families in our neighborhood. Our kids it's probably 5 families. Our kiddos are pretty close in age, and it's fun to be part of it for that night. But like we don't decorate the home and spooky things. We truly avoid just like the icky side of Halloween that's like spooky, and that vibe is not really anything we go for. But dressing up is so fun. This year Amos is a fighter pilot with aviators, and he is just the most handsome little guy. He wears like a little flight suit, and Amelia was an American Girl doll. And Annie tomorrow is going to be a little strawberry.
Oh my gosh.
Like precious. And so it's just these like, and I love seeing them in their costumes. In years past, like when Millie was a baby, I put a tie, tie Beanie Babies. I put a tie Beanie Baby on like a stuffed bear costume that she was wearing, and she was a tie Beanie Baby. It was so cute. Now I think it's fun, but I still feel like we're maybe on still a other spectrum of what Halloween is for the majority of people. But I think it's fun for the kids.
Yeah, I do. I mean, that's the best part about it is like all the cute little kids that are dressed up. Kids also dress up at school now, which I don't remember that being a thing when we were kids, but I don't know.
I don't remember.
Maybe we just opted out, but like, yeah, most kids will dress up tomorrow. When I lived in Indonesia, the school that I taught at was a Christian school, and we did storybook day instead of Halloween. So it was like
that's
storybook
fun.
Characters. So I did have some decent costumes there. I don't have any pictures of them, but like I was a rainbow fish from that one book. Or like Granny Relda was from this Sisters Grimm series that I read to my 5th grade class.
It's so fun.
Yeah, dressing like a grandma is actually kind of easy for me because I have kind of have grandma clothes already. See for you. Yeah. Anyways,
That's funny. Well, I'm subbing tomorrow, and I'm a roaming sub at the elementary school. So during IEPs, I'm just going to go sit in for whatever teacher needs a sub.
Hmm.
And so I
Smart.
called the school today and I was like, I was just because I didn't want to like pull a, Mean Girls and show up in a costume and nobody else is in a costume, kind of a thing.
Mhm.
And so I was like, I was wondering, like, are people wearing costumes? Is that encouraged? Is that allowed? And she was like, oh my gosh, the kids would love it. And I was like, okay, cool. Are hats allowed? And she was like, yeah, as long as it's not a full face mask. So tomorrow I'm going to wear overalls, my cowgirl hat, and I have these like a little llama stuffed animal. So I'm going to be like a llama farmer and I'm going to have it like in the
Oh my
pocket
gosh.
and my cowboy boots.
Perfect.
So that
That's
is kind of my
great.
thought.
I love it.
So
That's cute.
yeah. But then I also made the mistake of trying to attempt middle school again. And I chose November 1st, which everyone says the day after Halloween is like the worst
Oh,
idea.
no.
So this might totally backfire in my face, but Wednesdays are also half days. So anywho, pray for me. I don't know. So,
You should bring candy. Maybe
yeah,
if you like
that's true.
bring candy and then just like and charge them candy or something whenever they're
Incentivize them. Oh, like give them like 3 pieces each. And if you're naughty, I take one away.
I don't know if that will last. They'll probably just eat all of it.
That's true. It's remedial reading. So I don't really know what that means.
Oh, it's like a reading group.
Okay.
Like kids who need reading support.
Okay. And I
So-
did reading before at middle school and it was a total dumpster fire. So we'll see
I
how
mean,
it goes.
if you brought candy with you, if it's I mean, I don't know if that's allowed, but like, and then just be like, look, today our goal is to survive. If you're nice to me, I'll give you candy.
All right.
I don't know.
Yeah, we shall see. And I know, like, I don't know, on a previous podcast, I can't remember what we were talking about, but like we'd purchased Halloween candy like 2 weeks ago. And of course, my theory of it's staying around till Halloween, I think we have like 30 pieces left. And so we'll have that tomorrow. And then I was like, can we like not have candy and like give something else out? So Kevin chose it, and they're like these little like airplanes that you kind of like
that's fun.
stick together. And so we'll pass
Oh,
those
so
out tomorrow
fun.
too.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So,
As a parent, definitely appreciate something that's not candy.
well, there was this funny TikTok going around and people were being like candy or potato, and kids would pick the potato. They'd have like a bowl of potatoes and the kids were like, cool, like I'll take a potato. So Kevin kind of wanted to do that.
That's funny. Probably just because it's weird. And
Weird.
they're like,
Yes.
funny. I don't know.
That's so strange.
I don't know.
Hmm.
So I have a couple of questions, a little like semi quick fire-ish questions in that relates to Halloween. So when you were a kid, even though we didn't really dress up, like what was one character that you wanted to dress up that you either got to or never had a chance to wear?
I really loved Arthur when I was young.
Yes.
And I think DW and I were like, we were like this. I had a DW stuffed animal. I had an Arthur lunchbox. I think it would have been DW. If I could have dressed up, would have been DW.
Oh, that's a good one.
That is
fun.
good.
I can't really think of a character that I like couldn't dress up as. All I remember, I don't know how old I was with me, like 6, 5. I got to dress up like Jasmine and mom let me wear makeup. And that was like such a big deal. And I think I wore like a little crop top too. So I just felt so pretty and princessy and girly because I was wearing makeup. So that's the one that I think of that I really like loved being was Jasmine.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess, well, speaking of American Girl doll, maybe like dressing up like Molly would have been cute.
That would have been really cute.
What's so funny is though that like you got to dress up as Jasmine and I dressed up as an ATM. Like an actual ATM. Do you remember that? It was kind of the best costume, but it was like a box with like the screen, and dad like taped a calculator to it so that there were like buttons that you could push.
How old were you?
Elementary school for sure.
Oh,
That is
so
you
funny.
were
And how
excited?
ironic.
Were you
Well,
excited?
I mean, it
about
was like creative, but it's just like so on
Oh.
par for our our stories. So,
like cringy nerd vibe.
yeah, like I'm gonna be a princess. I'm gonna be a ballerina. I want to be an ATM.
Well, and
What?
how ironic, because our dad is a banker. So of course you're
Right.
like
Yes.
a
right.
bank
I think it
themed.
was like supposed to be funny, which it was funny and it was clever and whatever, but it was just like, so honestly, like that question of, what would you have wanted? I think I just wanted to be something normal,
Yeah.
like a princess or
A human.
not an inanimate object.
I remember one year I was a bunch of grapes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I remember
That's
that.
cute.
I think it
Mhm.
was green pants, long sleeves, and purple blown up
Purple
balloons. And I can still
Mhm.
remember trying to sit in the van on the way to church and being like, how am I supposed to sit here? This is, just because I was
That
covered in
is
purple
so funny.
balloons.
Oh, man.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Ugh, so funny. All right, shifting gears. When it comes to candy, what is the best candy that you can get in your bag, and what is the worst? Look at this. See, it's doing it again. What was the other one?
Whoa.
Oh, that's a new one. Yeah, sorry.
Oh my
I
God.
talk too much with my hands. So anyways,
It
we were getting
catches
like
all of it.
fireworks on the screen. So yeah, what's the best candy and what's the worst candy you could get?
Best candy is anything chocolate. Kit Kat, Twix, Snickers.
Interesting.
Those would probably be my top.
So you like weed those out as you're sorting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I love those flavored Tootsie Rolls.
Oh, those are good. You
Yes.
don't get them very often though.
The vanilla ones, those are my
Mhm.
favorite. Those and the orange ones. So I like those. If I see those in the kid stuff, I'm like, take that one. And Starburst, the little double duo pack. And mini Snickers.
Hmm.
Those are my like.
Let's see. I love Butterfingers, Sugar Daddies, which are kind of like a weird rando one. They're like little
Oh, do you
caramel
even
jelly
get
beans
those
almost.
anymore?
Sometimes.
Okay.
But I do love like, Skittles or Starbursts, 100 grand bars.
Oh, those are
Ooh,
good.
I like
Those
those
are
ones
good.
too. But yeah, like I like caramel, chocolate, milk duds, things like that. All right. Worst, like instant throw out.
Dum Dums.
Dots.
Oh my gosh,
Smarties.
skipped my head. Smarties. Oh, regular Tootsie Rolls.
Yeah,
Oh,
those are like
yeah.
reject candy.
Yep. Those
Okay.
are all the rejects.
I was asking Kevin, I was bringing this word to the people I love. And I asked him, his favorite is bottle caps. Ew.
Oh, those are gross.
What are bottle caps?
They're like sort of like sweet tarts, but
They're supposed to taste like soda, but they're nasty.
they're really chalky.
Yeah.
Last year because I was still living with you guys, I remember when the kids came home with all their candy, I was like so anti-Momo, but I was like, let's sort your candy. And so we like sorted it into like chocolate, chewy, fruity, and then like lame. And it was so much fun. The kids loved it.
They did.
And then they had like separate bags for each of the categories.
Yeah. It's so
Perfect. Oh, regular Hershey's milk chocolate also is a throwaway item.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
That's like in the hybrid category. Like, I don't know if I'll like throw those out, but it's like the kind that you save until the very end because
Mhm.
you don't really like them.
Yeah. I mean, I do like a Laffy Taffy or like an Airhead too. Those are good too.
Or like those butterscotch.
Oh, old lady candies?
Yeah.
Werther's?
Those.
If someone is
worst.
giving those away, that's like mean. That's like giving out potatoes.
But those get in the collection. When you dump it all out, you're like, really?
Well, and candy is so expensive right now, so I don't really blame people for buying the crummy stuff. But
Peppermints.
oh my gosh, that would be so lame.
Okay, so we were at Sam's Club and I was like thinking of other things other than candy, and they had like pretzels, and I was like, like cute little Halloween bags of pretzels.
Oh,
I was like,
that's smart.
that sounds good. And Kevin was like, no. And I was like, why? I think that would be great. I mean, I would enjoy that. I like something salty.
Something
Mhm.
different. Mhm.
Mhm.
The other question I had was, what is your go-to costume? Like if you're caught in a bind, like whether that was like when you were growing up to now, like what is that go-to costume?
I mean, apparently grandma. I don't know.
Probably some type of athlete or
Oh,
a
that's a good
wolf,
point.
but
Mhm.
probably like an athlete. Yeah. Like a gold, like a medal or
Mhm.
like a
That would be
skier,
good.
alpine, something.
So I feel like I have two costumes that are always like interchangeable and always, what is happening? Sorry, there's like balloons on my screen now. Okay, two costumes. One is the cowgirl, like I have cowboy boots and a cowboy hat. Like you can't ever go wrong. But the other one is Pippi Longstocking, mostly because I'm a redhead and I would always have my hair in pigtails, braids,
That's
and do Pippi
perfect.
Longstocking. And in
And you're already
college, I
freckly
had,
too.
I know, so it works out. And I was kind of obsessed with Pippi Longstocking. So that's also a easy go-to one. And I think one year mom like bent a
Yes.
Mhm. That's right, like a hanger.
hanger to like really get him to stick up.
That was so cute. I
Oh,
remember that.
man.
Yeah. Most memorable costume, if you have one, I think we kind of already talked about it. An ATM, that's pretty memorable.
Mhm.
Since I've been married, Alex and I have, it was more pre-kid when we would go to Halloween parties with other adults. He was a waffle and I was like Miss Butterworth, a big jar of syrup. So that was one costume, super cute. Another one was he was a beast and I was a beauty, but we had gone to a secondhand store and found like a little kid bear costume and chopped it up and put the head on his head and the hands on his hands, and
That's
he
creative.
was definitely beastly, you could say. And then is there another one?
Oh, you're a trophy wife.
Oh yeah, I was a trophy wife and he was like a maybe just himself.
No, he was an old man. I have
Oh, he was an
pictures.
old man. Okay.
Oh, like that kind of trophy wife. Oh my.
Yeah. If you would like to
Wow.
see pictures of some of these costumes, definitely check out our Instagram because that's where these photos will be posted. I had reached out to mom today and I was like, hey, do you have any pictures of us in like Halloween costumes? Because I didn't know she had anything. And she sent some really funny ones of you, Molly, of what were you like?
It was some character from Fraggle Rock. I can't remember her name, but
I
and
do
it
not
looked like
remember
it was
that.
like a trash bag or something. Like the costume itself looked like a plastic bag.
And a bird.
Well, they're like these little creatures that live in the, what is it, like a cave or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think she was one of the main characters though. I can't remember what her name was, but
Abby, you wouldn't have remembered because I was a baby. Like the picture is mom and she's holding
I
me
don't
as a
think you were
baby and
even
Molly's
around
like
yet.
3.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I just didn't even remember like the show
She used
or
to
whatever
be
it
on like
was.
Nickelodeon or something.
Oh, okay. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Well, the first few years of our marriage, Kevin, the first time he deployed was our first like Halloween together, sort of. And so my friend had come over and she was like, well, we need to do something fun for Halloween. Even if Kevin's gone, we should dress up Angus in a costume. Like that would be funny, and send Kevin a picture of whatever costume. And so we found Angus this airplane costume. And so he was like this little like airplane, and then it ended up becoming like his thunder vest because when he was naughty, he'd get the airplane costume and it ended up being this like plane of shame kind of a thing. So he looked really cute in this airplane costume. But then finally, I think like, I don't know, probably 5 or 6 years into our marriage, we finally got to like go to a Halloween party together because he ended up being deployed every year. And I wanted to be Throwback Thursday, which was like this trendy hashtag back in the day.
Oh,
And so I
yeah.
created this Instagram looking cardboard sign that said like Throwback Thursday. And I was a jock in high school. Kevin was a total band nerd who had like a shaved head and a ponytail and wore JNCOs and wore eyeliner, like totally not who he is today. And my friend that I worked with, I worked at like a timeshare, and she was this hilarious Greek woman. And when at work, she was like an Indian or something, and she had this wig, and she was like, "Do you want it?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." So we used that wig, and Kevin has the shaved head. So we put the wig on and put it in a ponytail, wore a band shirt, and then I wore my soccer clothes. And it was just so funny because it literally
So
looked just
clever.
like him
Wow.
when he was in high school. So that was a really funny
Oh.
costume.
That is
So,
so clever. Oh my
Yeah, it
goodness.
was really funny.
That
Wow.
sounds
Throwback
nice.
Thursdays. I remember those.
So yeah, but any other plans for this Halloween in 2023?
Our neighborhood, just today, the neighborhood moms were texting, and one of them is gonna have like a chili buffet. And so we were all like, "Oh, what can we bring?" Yada yada. So I was planning before we had committed to this fun idea, I was planning on doing hot dog like mummies, where you get a hot dog and you wrap it in
Yeah.
crescent roll dough and it looks like little mummies. So I was gonna bring those and tater tots, and so we're gonna have like a little cookout, and then I'll go trick or treating tomorrow evening in the neighborhood.
Are you gonna dress up?
My friend has a blonde wig, so I might wear that.
Could be Taylor
There
Swift.
you go.
Oh my gosh.
Or you could be Barbie of some kind, sporty Barbie.
Sporty Barbie.
Mom Barbie.
Mom
Mom
Barbie. That's such a good
Yeah.
idea. Yeah, maybe.
Molly, are you dressing up at school tomorrow?
No. No.
You could wear the ears.
Yeah, I'll give them to you.
Maybe.
Oh.
I don't know.
Woof.
Part of me like kind of wants to be the non-costume person for the kids who don't have costumes, you know? Like last year there was a kid at school who his family doesn't celebrate holidays due to their religion, and so which meant that he like couldn't participate in most of the things of the day.
Poor bud.
And so yeah, I just was like, you know what, actually, I mean, part of it is that I'm like kind of curmudgeon-y and I don't like to dress up, but also like
okay.
maybe it's okay for the kids who don't dress up tomorrow for there to be
I like
a
that.
grown-up who's kind of not into it either. So
You're always thinking of those who are on the outside mall. So I love you.
So sweet. I think that's great. And even just for the kiddos who don't want to dress up, who can, but are just like, maybe they're
Mhm.
curmudgeon-y as well.
there you go, fellow curmudgeons. Yeah, but no, my typical Halloween tradition is actually to order pizza and watch The Shining.
By yourself?
Very.
Yeah.
Red rum.
Yeah.
Red rum.
Oh.
That's
Because
crazy.
yeah,
Not
I live in an
Hocus
apartment
Pocus?
building, so I don't think there will be any trick-or-treaters. There's like one kid who lives here, so maybe I'll watch Hocus Pocus instead. But there have been several years where I just like The Shining.
I've never seen it.
You should never watch it.
No.
No.
I won't.
It's just like very well done. I only like well done scary movies, you know, like psychological thrillers.
What about that other
Yeah.
one? Sixth Sense?
Yeah, anything like those is
Or
good.
The Village. Did you ever watch The Village?
Yeah,
That one is
The
creepy.
Village. Some of his new ones are good, like Old or Knock at the
What about, like,
Cabin.
birds?
Oh,
Anything Alfred
Birds.
Hitchcock is good.
Have you seen 10 Clover Lane?
Uh-huh.
Oh my gosh, that one is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
That one's good.
No, thank you. I'll watch Spookly, the square pumpkin.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Or like find
Oh
an
my God.
Arthur
Yeah.
Halloween episode or
Yeah.
something. Bluey. Does Bluey celebrate Halloween?
I don't know, actually. I'll have to look that up. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, like overall, like Halloween has never had any sense of importance to me. I mean, I think I enjoy watching like the Today Show and what they're going to wear in their costumes.
Oh,
Or,
yeah.
Yes.
That's
you
true.
know,
Totally agree.
the podcast that we also listen to, sometimes I'm curious like what their costumes are going to be because they always have like themed ones with their sisters.
Mhm.
So anyways, I figured we'd get on board with what's
Sure.
cool. Attempt, you know, I'm Shrek or a cowboy, like how cool are we? I don't know.
I mean,
So,
I'm a wolf
Right.
with ears.
Not a whole lot of effort over here. But I do like candy. I can always get behind candy. And cute children in
Yeah.
costumes. So
Yes.
like anything that gets Annie in a strawberry costume,
It's so
I'm all
cute.
for it.
Oh
100%.
We still have
Yep.
this bumblebee costume. I can't remember who wore it. I think it was Millie. And it has a little stinger on the bottom. So when they wear it and waddle around the stinger, like,
Oh my
So
gosh.
cute.
Oh, well, it was so sweet when Abby, you had sent the pictures of what at least Moose was going to be wearing.
mhm.
And I was like, Kevin is going to love this so much. And so I had Kevin like kind of stand in the same stance and put on his glasses and they looked like exactly the same. So it was just so sweet.
Yeah. Amos
Kevin was quite
loved
happy.
that. He just felt
Oh.
so proud and so just like, Uncle Kev likes it. That's so cool. It
Oh,
was so sweet.
yeah, it was really fun.
Good.
So, well, thanks for humoring me and, you know, joining me on this little, you know, Halloween themed episode.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, fortunately, most holidays have at least one good story or memory between the three of us.
Ooh, that's true. Maybe while you're here, Mal, we'll do a fun podcast. Maybe one with mom and dad or something.
Oh, that's a good idea for
Be
Thanksgiving.
fun.
Mhm.
Thanks so much for joining us today on A Word with the Girls. We're a podcast where one word sparks conversation. We believe in the power of connection and stories. And now it's your turn to take our word today, Halloween, and share it with your people. See where the conversation goes. See what kind of fun costumes are out there, any fun stories, and let us know how it goes in the comments on Instagram, here on Spotify, or even on YouTube. All right, that's a wrap for the Halloween episode.
Oh,
Spooky, scary skeletons and shivers up my spine. All right. Love you guys.
Ooh,
Love you more.
love
Bye.
ya. Bye.
Bye.
Stars at night.
So big and bright, deep in the heart of Texas.
Make sure to subscribe so that you can follow along each week as A Word with the Girls drops new episodes every Wednesday.